Okay folks, we are sticking with solving quadratics, and as always we know this is a quadratic because we have an x squared value there. So this time it's a little bit different because we're dealing with the quadratic formula, which we also know more commonly as the minus b formula. This formula you do not need to know off by heart. It is always given to you in the log tables, you just need to know where to find it. I've written it there for you all, so you can use that and you do not need to learn it off. That's a very important fact. Don't waste your time learning that. It is given to you. Okay, so now we need to look at how this works and how we're going to solve it. Like I said the last time, there's two ways to solve quadratics. The first way is using factorizing, which we've just done. The second way is using this quadratic formula. Depends on the question. So if you look at this question, you'll see that it asks you to solve each of the following correct to 2 decimal places. That is a telltale sign of the minus b formula. I'm just going to kind of put an asterisk there beside that. Straight away that screams to you, use the minus b formula. Even if it doesn't say to use it, it means to use it. Sometimes it'll say third form as well. That means quadratic formula. Okay, so let's look at our question. First off, we see this should be a 1. As always, no number on the letter, the number is 1. And if we look at that quadratic formula, there's 3 letters we need to be able to find. The first letter is A, the next letter is B, and the next letter is C. We have to be able to fill in something for A, B, and C. So we're going to go back now, and we're going to find values for A, we're going to find values for B, and we're going to find values for C. So if we look at the question, the value for A is what's in front of x squared, so in our case, that is 1. The value for B is whatever's in front of x, which is minus 7, so in our case, B is minus 7. Be careful with the signs there, make sure you take the sign. And the value for C is whatever's left over, which in our case is minus 3. So C is minus 3. Now we have our A, B, and C values. We're going to sub them in to the minus b formula. So we have x equals minus b, which in our case is minus 7, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is minus 7 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is minus 3. And that all has to be over 2a, which is 2 times 1 in our case. Now what's left is for us to start tidying this up. So if we look here, we have minus by a minus. And we all know minus by a minus is going to give us a plus. So that turns into x equals plus 7 or just 7. Plus or minus the square root of, now if we look at this, minus 7 squared. If we plug that into our calculators, and be very careful with this that you put the brackets in as well, a minus 7 by a minus 7 is a positive 49. Then if we continue on and put minus 4 by 1 by minus 3 into our calculators, we'll see that gives us plus 12. All over 2a, and 2a was 2 times 1, and 2 times 1 is 2. Now let's keep working down. We're now going to figure out what 49 plus 12 is, and 49 plus 12 will give us 61. Oh, apologies. We're nearly there now, so we're going to stick a positive sign and a negative sign into each of these sides. So I'm just going to draw an arrow. And I'm going to draw an arrow. And one of these sides is positive and one of these sides is negative. So let's rewrite the question with a positive side and a negative side. X equals 7 plus root 61 over 2. And on the negative side, x equals 7 minus root 61 over 2. Finally, we're at the easy part where we just shove it into our calculators. And on the left-hand side, we should see that x equals 7.405. And on the right-hand side, we should see that x equals minus 0.405. Now just be conscious that if we scroll up to the top again, that this question asked us to do this to 2 decimal places. So we're going to have to round this to 2 decimal places, not 3. And that means x equals 7.41 and x equals minus 0.41. They are two final answers for x.